I'm Miss Omida, and I'd like to welcome you to our English 3A Google Classroom and Savvas tour. Today what we're going to be doing is taking a look at Google Classroom, how we use it, how I like to use it for my particular class, where things are located, and how to access this website called Savvas, which is where you can find your digital textbook. So without further ado, here we go. So this is something new that I added after I recorded the original video. So I have fixed it to include this. At the very top of the classwork page, you should see this that says sign up for office hours as needed. In yesterday's syllabus activity, you should have seen on your paper syllabus that there are office hours every day, Monday through Friday, except on days that we are scheduled not to be in school. A set time in the afternoon for your particular class period that is reserved for that teacher's Google Meet. Well, here's the thing. I don't particularly love Google Meet. Google Meet is good if you really have a question or you really need help with something. So instead of hosting Google Meets, here's what I have created for you. You see, if you click on this Zomita Google Meet office hours for NTI, you should see that it says, fill out this form anytime you specifically need help and would like to speak with me about an assignment. Occasionally, I will schedule reteaching sessions during my office hours. I will check this document daily before noon. Once each time slot is filled for that day, you will have to schedule for the next day. So, whenever you decide you need to speak with me, you have to open up this Google form, you have to open up this Google Sheet and fill this out for the day that you want to talk to me. So let's say Monday morning you open up an assignment and you have no clue where to start. You just are lost. Well, instead of struggling through it and spending a bunch of time whenever you could just ask me for help, you could come to this. If you're in my first period, you could come to this, put in your first and last name. I already have the date filled in for you, so you don't have to touch it. Let's say that 12:30 doesn't quite work for you, but 12:45, ooh, that sounds great. So you would put your name here. You would leave everything else blank, and then over here, put the reason why you want to get onto Google Meet. So you want to get on the Google Meet and talk with me. The way that you do that is you would go back to your classwork page, hit stream, see this link right here, Meet link. That is the link we will use every single time. So there will be certain days, if people don't sign up for my Google Office hours, I'm not going to have the Google Meet live that particular day. So unless somebody's scheduled to have the Google Meet, I'm not going to be there. All right, everybody. So when you first log into our Google Classroom, you should see it looks like this, and I have it on student view mode. So I'm actually seeing it the way you do. I'm not looking at this from a teacher's point of view. So this is what it looks like. You'll see that you have the banner. If you don't see this banner when you log in, you're on the wrong class. Now, here is the stream, and it automatically takes you to the stream when you log in, but the most important place for you to be when you log into our Google Classroom is the Classwork tab. So when you open up the Classwork tab, what you should see is this. So you have all 4 of this week's assignments, all posted right here at the top underneath the assignments heading. If you click on each of these, it should pop up with a due date over here, right? It has the materials that you need to access. It tells you when it was posted, and I have a brief instruction line here. So the due date and the assigned date title should match. However, you're seeing it on Tuesday, September the 8th. This is not scheduled to post on that Wednesday. It will already be posted at the beginning of the week. So all of our assignments for the week should be posted here at the beginning of the week. However, make sure you know that there is an assignment due every single day, and those due dates can be found over here to the right. So scroll down and let's look at our ACT notebook section. So Here's the thing, not until September the 14th will you have a bell ringer or anything to do with this ACT notebook. So this isn't until Monday, next Monday. So don't worry about this until next Monday, but this video is to make sure that you know how to access these materials. On ACT English Notebook, you should have access to this Google Slides presentation. What this is a digital interactive notebook that you're going to have access to every single week. You will be using this notebook every week, every Monday, every day to do your bell ringers. This is where they will be recorded. So the first thing you have to do with files like these, you have to hit File, make a copy, entire presentation. It'll pop up with this. What I would like you to do is retitle this with your first and last name ACT notebook. So, pretending I'm my own student, I would call this Sarah Zomita ACT notebook. And then you hit share with the same people and hit OK. So now I have customized my notebook. That way, whenever my teacher, aka me, opens it up to grade it every week, I will be able to see whose notebook it is without having to look up here. I will already have it down here. So I've never seen this notebook before. I wonder what it has in it. So I'm going to look and go ahead and click to the next page, and it tells me how to use my notebook. So every Friday beginning September 18th, so that's next Friday, you will turn in your notebook to be checked. You'll keep all bell ringers, notes, practice, and assessment data related to ACT English in the appropriate sections. Okay. Next is our table of contents. So it tells me over here that each of these 4 icons is linked to a different section of this notebook. And it tells me down here as well that if I need to add new pages to the section, all I have to do is duplicate the page and then change the information. So it also says that the icons are linked on the cover of the notebook. So every time you open this file to work on it, you don't have to go hunting for the slide over here. You can just click one of these 4 icons and it will pop up with a link. Let's start out with bell ringer. It says slide 4. I'm going to click that. Well, that was close by, right? So this is the bell ringer section. So what I would do every time it's time to do a bell ringer, every day beginning September the 14th, I would go here. You have 1 slide per week. So I would edit this to say week 1. I would edit this. It already has it here for you. September 14th. I would type in my answer here, and then I would explain why that was my answer. And so then, when I have a bell ringer tomorrow, I would just hit enter, and I have September 15th, my answer, my explanation. Let's go to my notes section. So I don't have to take notes until September 14th. That date's already been entered here for you. I need to edit the title of these notes. So first, I would have to look at these notes. So we're going to click back over to Google Classroom real quick. And looking in the ACT English Notebook section, you will see bell ringers and ACT Weekly Notes. So I would open up this Google Slides presentation. What are these notes titled? Week 1, the fundamentals. So I'd flip back over to my notebook and I would type in the fundamentals. So I'm going to show you a sample way to take notes using Google Slides and your digital notebook. Okay, so what I'm going to do is model for you 2 different styles of note-taking, and you can choose whatever style you want. I don't care, but straight up copying and pasting what is already on the other presentation onto your notes will not do the trick, and you won't get participation points for doing that because it takes no skill, and it doesn't mean that you've read them, and it definitely doesn't mean that you've comprehended the material. One that's all about ACT English. So strategy number 1 is going to be what I like to call question and answer. So I'm going to come up with 4 questions, and I'm going to answer my own questions using the information in the notes. So right here it says reading level 5, easy to understand reading passages. So over here, what I would write in my notes is this is all about the test itself. So that was the title of this section. I'm giving myself some organization. Question: how many passages do I have to read on the ACT English? Answer: 5. So that is way number 1 that you can take notes, is the question and answer method. So now, and summarize and paraphrase things in my own way. So section 1 is about the way the test is set up. I remember from looking at my notes that it said I have 5 passages and they should be easy to understand. Depending on your comprehension level and what makes you most comfortable, you can choose between which type of note-taking style you like. You're allowed to change the font size here. You're allowed to change the line height. You're allowed to make it bigger or smaller. You can even change the font up here if you don't like the way this looks and it's difficult for you to read. As long as you keep the date and you have the topic of the notes, you're good to go. This is the practice section, and you're going to have assignments. I'll make sure to include that in your daily NTI or course agenda. But you would put the page numbers here, you would put the date here, you would put the name of the exercise title, which would be at the top of the page, then you would list all of your answers. 2 times per week, you're going to have these little mini assessments, and they're only 3 questions each, so don't sweat it. They're just for me to see how you're doing, see your comprehension and your progress. So every time you take any sort of quiz, you're going to come here and you're going to type in, at the end of the week, you're going to type in the dates you took the quizzes, the scores you got, and then over here, you're going to rate yourself based on the topic for the week. So let's say the topic for the week is verbs. And let's say you did okay, but you still have a lot of questions about verbs. Then you would come down here and you would take this little guy and move him up there. And I'm going to show you how to turn in an assignment the correct way. Every single time that I complete an assignment on Google Classroom, I need to make sure that I have added or created any necessary files. So sometimes you don't need any files. Sometimes the files are through another program, and in fact, both of these are through Insert Learning, which we're going to get to here in a few minutes. What I want you to make sure you've done is you would always hit Add or Create. Notice when you hit that, it pops up Google Drive, link, file. Down here, if it says Create New, if you click one of these 4 down here, it is going to attach a blank document to this assignment, and then I will not be able to grade it. So never click down here, okay? Always click up here if you're trying to turn something in and attach my notebook. I'm going to hit Insert. It's going to do its little loading dance down here. And then once I have done that and it's loaded, notice how this button shows up and it says Turn In. I would have to always click this button. If I do not turn something in, Miss Omida ain't grading it, because it's really difficult for me to go through all of my shared files and everything like that whenever Google Classroom has it organized for us. So always, 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 if there are attachments, make sure you turn them in, make sure you attach the correct things. And if there aren't any attachments, like there would be on this particular assignment for tomorrow, when you are finished with it, you need to come to the assignment, and you know how earlier this button, it said mark as done? That's what I would click when I'm actually done with both of these assignments. Let's do a quick rundown of the extensions that you need in order to be successful in this course. So the first extension that I would like you to add to your Google Chrome browser is Insert Learning. So you would go to the Chrome web store, you search for what you need. Right here it is, purple box, IL, Insert Learning. make sure you click on it. I already have this added to my Chrome browser, so I don't have the button that says Add to Chrome, but notice this one underneath it, it says Add to Chrome. That's what yours should look like, and make sure you click that. The next extension that I would like everyone to download is called Screencastify. So Screencastify looks exactly like this coral colored box. So you're going to hit Add to Chrome, checking. You're going to hit Add Extension, and then you should see that little box change to Added, already added, or something like that. The next extension that I would like you to have is Save to Drive. So Save to Google Drive, this one right here, will allow you to save a web page directly to your Google Drive account in case you're browsing, especially when we return to the classroom and it gets toward the end of class and you have run out of time. You can very quickly hit this button once you have added it, and it will automatically save your web page as a link in your Google Drive, so you don't have to worry about losing things. So those are the 3 extensions that are required for this course. Okay, everybody, so this is the last and final thing that you need to know for Google Classroom Savvas Tour for today's assignment. So I'm going to click Day 4, and it should pop up with this English 3A pretest, and you notice that the URL says Savvas Realize. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to open up in a new window. It should take me to this screen. You'll be redirected. Take me there now, I'm going to say. Then it's going to ask me to choose an account to sign in with. Well, I'm going to choose my school account. In this case, of course, this is my personal account because I am demoing this for you. Your email, though, needs to be your school email that you use to sign up for everything. So then I'm going to click Allow, English, pick a profile icon. Well, I like this weird, that was like a Pokeball. I'm going to pick that guy. Pick a background image for your home page. I'm digging these sunflowers. Then I'm going to hit Ready to Get Started. Okay, let's go. So you notice how it said you don't have any assignments in this class right now, but check back soon. That's because I don't have the pretest posted until September the 8th. And it's not September the 8th while I'm recording this video. It's August the 20th. So whenever I first logged in, though, it should take you to English 3A assignments. And if you have any assignments that are due, they would pop up here. Savvas, you'll see a link to the online system where you can go directly to that online system and sign in. But you'll also see that I have these PDFs, and they're already preloaded onto Google Classroom. So if you want to download these and save to your Chromebook so that when you're at home or anywhere that you don't have internet access in the future, you can pull those up without having internet. So you would click Literature, Student Edition. That's what you would want to click and open a new window. It'll pop up, the Realize Reader. You'll notice when you first open that you have these different sections. We won't always do everything, but these are thematic-based units. There's a ton of supplemental information, so if you really like a topic or an author, there's extra stuff that you'll have immediate access to. And I just wanted you to be familiar with how you sign up for Savvas, how to navigate the pages, and how to find the content that you're looking for. That's it. That's all we got. Have a great one.